Okay, we've seen this trailer. What's up? We're here. Everything's fine. Oh my god. Welcome, guys. Everybody stay calm.
Queen's eyes.
Okay, we've seen this. But still. Okay. Oh, I'm panicking. I'm so sorry.
They are the most
I totally forgot about the launch live stream is the problem.
And they don't trust us. We have to show them that we're on their side.
Oh my god. Ah, me neither. Now, Allie, I know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. Everybody stay calm. I'm very not calm. Can you tell? Peachy's very not calm right now. Ah, I haven't even made my...
The Aether Blades are back. Now they're planning
Guild
something
Wars
big in
2 of Dragons.
If we don't stop them, they'll plunge Tyria into war.
I love this music. Oh my god, the music in this expansion is gonna kill me. I'm so not ready.
Everything Dragon's Watch has fought for.
I'm so not ready.
It all comes down to this.
The Virtuoso! Oh my god. Who's playing one of the new Elite specs on launch? Who's gonna play one on launch? I'm not. I'm gonna stick with my Dragon Hunter until I'm done with the story.
It's too late.
And then I'll work on like unlocking the Willbender. I'll do that later. Like I'm not in a rush to unlock the
All of you in our
Willbender.
community have been so dedicated in your support of our efforts, and we are honored that you're here with us today as we get ready to launch our third expansion.
Look at the
I hope you
legendaries.
enjoyed our pre-show with ArenaNet partner Rook and her faction's history
Rook did
lesson.
amazing.
It is incredible to think that it's been 15 years since we first set foot in Cantha with the launch of Guild Wars factions.
Wow.
It's even more wonderful to think about how many of you were with us as part of that launch. As we count down the remaining time before
Factions
End of
launch?
Dragons
No,
is
I wasn't,
available
actually.
to all of you, I'm going to be
I did play
joined
the
by
Factions
several of
beta.
our developer guests from End of Dragons. We're going to share some development insights and more to take you behind the scenes of End of Dragons. If you're new to Guild Wars 2,
I love
Guild
concept
Wars
art
2
so much.
is an award-winning, critically acclaimed MMO that you can play without a subscription fee. The core game is totally free, and you can purchase 3 expansions packed with new adventures, great stories,
God,
and
look at the
whole worlds
skiffs.
to explore.
I wanna dye
Head
my
to
skiff.
guildwars2.com now to
I'm
begin
gonna put on
your
my new
adventure.
skiff skin and dye my skiff. Thank you guys for the resub.
To kick us off, we have our lead designer, Andrew Gray.
Hi, Ruby. I'm Andrew Gray.
Hi,
I'm
Andrew.
the lead content designer on Guild Wars 2.
How does it feel to be going back to Cantha?
It is super awesome to go back to Cantha. Is where we left off in the end of Guild Wars 1 with Winds of Change. And so to be able to go back there and see both, you know, what's the same, but then also what has changed in the last 200 years. I mean, like, imagine if there was a country that we hadn't had contact with since the 1800s.
slums.
There'd probably be a lot of differences there. So I think there's going to be
There
a
was
lot
just
of cool
nothing but
stuff
brown
that,
in
you
the
know,
first
players
game, and
might
there was
expect
so
to see,
much
but then
of
also
it.
some stuff that's going to subvert their expectations in really exciting ways.
We have a lot of people
God.
who
There's
were
Guild Wars
there for
1.
that launch of Guild Wars factions and have played factions, and they are familiar with Cantha. But there are also a lot of our community who doesn't necessarily know Cantha. What did the team do to make sure that the region and this expansion was accessible for those people as well?
Well, the time gap honestly helps a lot. Cantha has changed a lot.
you,
So
Jezebel.
players who went there in Guild Wars 1 are certainly going to have things where like, oh man, it's that thing, I recognize that.
Yes.
But there's, you know, a lot of new stuff
my
to
gosh,
discover.
it's been so
all the
long.
players and all the characters are going to be, you know, discovering
Amazing,
an exciting new
Thank
area.
you so much for
The
subscribing. Enjoy
different
your
regions
emotes.
in Guild Wars factions, going back to Cantha back in the day, were really diverse. What has the team done to bring that diversity and all of those different things into Guild Wars 2?
Factions certainly did us a solid by being such a beautiful, diverse area. The Jade Sea with the sort of frozen in time feel to it, the Echoval Forest with the cathedrals built into the trees, the rolling hills of
I picked
Shinjay.
Kurzik just because
they're all still there. But
I
then,
liked
like,
the
you go to
gothic
Caning,
atmosphere in the woods.
Caning has seen quite a
Filkrin,
bit of
thank
differences.
you.
Like it's a whole new thing. It's unlike anything we have seen
Wow.
in Guild Wars 2 or Guild Wars 1.
End of
I need to
Dragons
go through
has
that
a
tunnel.
strong emphasis on replayable content. What's that going to be like in the player experience?
So early on in development of End of Dragons, we were talking about how can we get replayable content out of some of our story instances. And what we landed on was, well, what if we make strike missions out of them? Strike missions, for those of you who don't know, are 10-person
I've watched
content
so little
that
of
is
the like
raid-esque, where you
the
go
pre
in
stuff
and
because
you
I
fight
wanted
a
to
big
just
boss.
go
It's
in
mechanically
very
diverse.
blind.
It's supposed to be somewhat aspirational
green
content
like you,
that you kind of
Emerald
work your
Knight.
way up to.
You
So
can just
this was
pretend it's all
beneficial in
emeralds.
multiple ways. One, we got 4 strike missions out of it for the players who like
4
that sort
strike
of
missions
10-man
to
content.
start.
But also on top of that, we also got better story encounters out of it. Frankly, the story encounters are more mechanically complicated than they would have been in a regular story instance.
Is she drunk?
And that's beneficial because it allows you to go in solo into the story version, learn the basics of these mechanics in a safe area. And then once you master it there, you're able to move on to the strike mission version where you're in a 10-person group. And everything, certainly hits harder there. I can vouch for that. You're probably gonna want some healers and everything, but it's still an extension of what you already learned. You're not starting from zero. And then from there, once you master that, if you're the hardcore of the hardcore, we'll be adding challenge mode later on, which is just absolutely brutal.
Challenge mode,
you
strike
absolutely
missions.
need healers for that. But for some players, that's what they're after, and we definitely want to deliver that.
Andrew, you've played the End of Dragons story a few times. How did it feel without spoiling anything?
Yes, I have played it many times, and I have to say, every iteration I've played it, I've just been blown away. Like, it was good, and then better, and then even better. It's amazing. I'm especially happy with some of the new characters that we meet. Detective Rama is great. The intern Akane, I'm kind of a kindred spirit to her with her levels of snark, let's just say.
Yes,
She's great.
Give me the
Honestly,
snarky
the whole
characters.
story blows me away. We've been telling the Dragon story for 10 years, and the End of Dragons finale does not just feel like a finale to this expansion pack. The End of Dragons feels like the finale to the story we've been telling for the last 10 years.
It really does, and I cannot wait for people to see it.
I'm gonna cry already.
What were some of your favorite memories from developing End of Dragons?
Well, for one, I loved seeing the evolution of the siege turtle as it came along, from like, it's not even going to be a vehicle to it's a vehicle to now it has jump jets. Like, that is just bonkers to me. ArenaNet is always an iterative company. We try things, we elaborate on it, and that's just one case where, like, every time I played it, it was just like, oh my god, it's just getting cooler and cooler.
Watching things improve and develop, it's just been amazing.
Also, I have to say that I am
want
a
Ruby's
super
shirt
huge
so
fan
bad.
of the Spectre. I was doing some strike missions with it, and it brings me back to monking in GVG and Guild Wars 1. It's phenomenal.
Awesome.
Nice. Oh my gosh, monking, really? I was a monk in Guild Wars 1.
It is almost time for End of Dragons. It is almost time to go back to Cantha after the land has been closed for over 200 years to outsiders.
Oh, this music,
is
I can't
an
wait.
exciting opportunity for all of us to go back in there and explore what's happened in Cantha in the interim. With me here to talk about that is writer and narrative designer Indigo. Hi.
Hi, I'm Indigo Bach. I was a narrative designer and writer on End of Dragons. I helped ground the elite specs in the lore. I helped with fishing. I helped with Jade bots pretty notably, the Legendary Armory, which came out a little bit before, but we got that all spruced up for the Arena set coming out. But most notably, my favorite contribution to the expansion was I was the principal writer on the new Kaineng open world map. I'm so thrilled, and we've all just been like on the edge of our heels waiting to be able to show players everything that we've put together, and we're so excited to finally be at this day and for everybody to kind of see what we put together. And this is some of the most proud we've been to date.
Love.
You did a lot of work on End of Dragons. You did some work on Kaineng City, too. What stood out on this part of End of Dragons for you?
I'm incredibly passionate about Kaineng, and it was one of the first big projects that I had at the studio. But just to kind of back up a little bit too, for our new players that aren't as familiar with Kaineng, Kaineng was a location in Guild Wars Factions, the original Guild Wars game. And new Kaineng that we're gonna see in End of Dragons is actually quite different. When Zaitan rose, one of the Elder Dragons in our series, a massive tidal wave actually wiped out most of the old city. And you can still see some of those ruins today to the north, and you can explore them, and there's some really fun stories that we have to tell with that area. But most of what we see today in New Cunning is completely new. It's not only kind of this new hub, it's this culmination of different camping cultures.
Oh my God,
There's
I want
the
a kimono.
Campins, we have the newly integrated Luxons and Kurziks that are a part of that. And we get to kind of see how those cultures have grown together and changed since Guild Wars faction.
Everything's so pretty.
But one of the really cool things about Kaining is it's also a hub of modern technology. And and I think Tyria is going to be taken by storm when Cantha opens up, because there's nothing quite like it.
No,
and as we've
this is
talked about in
completely
live
new.
streams past, Lady June, who is basically the CEO of Junlai Jade, has integrated the city with these modern technologies that are basically
She's the Evan
a part
Nash
of the
blade of
Campins'
Cantha.
everyday lives. There's holo projectors that you can see the holo news on. The Jade bots
my
allow you
God.
to zip line. There's mass transit related to technology. You see it everywhere. It's in their storefronts. There's these sea
brilliant
motifs
choice.
throughout the entire city with holographic fish and whales that float through. It's incredibly beautiful, but it's a really jarring, unique opportunity that we kind of got to dive into. What would a city look like that we could explore? It's kind of hard to put into words, but I think I'm really excited to get in there and see it populated with players, because there's only so much we can do to make it feel like a real city. And I feel like the missing piece for me personally is to just open the floodgates and let the players populate the rest of it, because they are just as much going to be citizens to this world as anybody else. And that's one thing that I'm really looking forward to.
Something that you just mentioned was the HoloNews projectors. That's a thing that we've talked about a little bit in previous live streams, and we've seen as we were running around. They're so cool. I love them. We've had them turned off when we were showing End of Dragons in live streams, so we don't spoil them, but we're so close. Let's talk a little bit more about those and what they are.
There's these holographic projectors that you're gonna see all over Cantha. And what those are is we actually have a news reporter Mirai, who is one of my favorite characters that I wrote. She's a ton of fun. She was voiced by Tina Huang. The news is gonna be reporting on the events of the Golden Path as we progress in the story. And that's a really exciting opportunity, because we can't express every single aspect of how this nation is reacting, but the news gives us the ability to kind of put additional anecdotes that we otherwise couldn't show. So as you're progressing through the story, you're gonna notice that the news is gonna be updating as we go. So it's gonna be talking about what these visitors in Cantha are doing, what X, Y, and Z. I won't go into specifics because there's a lot of spoilers as soon as you start off the story. But that's one of these really fun reactive ways that we were able to integrate storytelling elements that would be constant through the open world, but also reflect back to you where you are in the story. I think one of the cool things too about all of the maps is each one stands out so much against the rest. Xingjie is very tranquil. Kaineng is very bustling and exciting.
ArenaNet excels at that
Ekavald
variety
is dark
in their
and serene
maps.
and eerie. And then the Jade Sea is the Jade Sea, and I won't get too far into that because that would be a spoiler. But every single map visually stands apart and thematically stands apart, and we're incredibly proud of how that all came together.
And is there anything you want to say to our community?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so excited for you guys to get to play this and experience the story that we've put together. We're so incredibly passionate about it, and we're ready to rip your hearts out because we already ripped our own out, and we just can't wait to share this all with you.
Yes,
But rip
please.
your hearts out in a fun way.
But in a
good
fun
way.
way, not
No,
like a
in
bad
the
way.
best way.
Way to
Rip
go.
my heart out. I'm ready. Please. Please. Ooh, that rainbow, the prism effect. This doesn't even seem real. We're 45 minutes to launch and it doesn't seem real.
Another exciting feature coming with End of Dragons is the Siege Turtle mount. Guild Wars 2 has 8 different mounts now, each with unique abilities like gliding or jumping across wide gaps in terrain, and all unlocked via gameplay. The Siege Turtle is our 9th mount and our first 2-player mount. Abilities like jump jets and walking across the seafloor also allows the Siege Turtle to handle all different kinds of terrain.
Walking across the
Joining us
seafloor,
next,
wow.
game designer Nick Hernandez. Welcome, Nick.
Hi, Ruby. How you doing today?
So, for players who are just joining us today, why don't you talk a little bit about who you are and what you do here at ArenaNet?
Sure. So, as Ruby said, my name is Nick Hernandez. I am a content designer or a game designer here at ArenaNet. I've worked on a few different things, the expansion, primarily the Xingjie map, but I've also helped out with things like boats and fishing and some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about today.
Tell us some more about the siege turtle.
Yeah, well, so it's actually really interesting because you mentioned that it's the first like 2-player mount and it's got like the hover jets, but not only is it the first multiplayer mount, it's also going to be the first combat allotted mount that we have within the game, right? Like all the others, you have to run and jump and you use your engage skill and then it's gone. But with the siege turtle, you're actually going to be in combat. You're going to be able to fight
Combat's
the world
gonna be just a whole bunch
bosses
of
and
siege
events
turtles.
and all of the areas, and it doesn't go away. I mean, like I remember when the team was first ideating on the feature, right? Like there was that moment where 2 members of the team were able to both exist on the exact same mount. It was just a giddying moment. It really just kind of evolved from there, right? It's a big, very heavy turtle. How do we get around that?
I wonder when we get it. Like,
and then
is
suddenly,
it an
bam,
end game,
Art
like
came
after
in,
you're
and
done
then it just
thing that
felt
we have to like
right.
raise
It's kind
it,
of like
or
a
do we
multi-tool mount.
get it like at
and
some
I'm really
point in the
excited for people to be
story?
able to see how it kind of runs around with like with the masteries added to it, and how it exists in the play space of like world bosses and underwater combat and on land combat and kind of all of these areas that already
Is it
exist.
like
I think
hovering?
it's gonna
Look at it,
add a
like
brand new
hovering and
feel
shooting.
to all of the things. I'm excited for everybody to see it.
Fishing is one of those things I keep like forgetting about. Like with everything else,
End of
I
Dragons
keep
is
forgetting.
also going to add skiffs and fishing. You're going to be able to sail around the waters of Tyria with your friends and go fishing for events and for some new recipes. Nick, can you
That's
tell
so
us some about
cute.
the
Look at
development
that.
of these 2 features?
Yeah, for sure. You know, kind of very similar to the siege turtle. We wanted to make sure that
so
fishing and
pretty.
skiffs also felt like a feature set that is going to be worthwhile for players to be able to
There's gonna
engage
be,
in
like,
and
boat
kind of
congestion.
add a new sort of gameplay type, gameplay feel
Thank
to an
you,
already existing
Benzu.
system with gathering. With the skiffs, we spent a lot of time making sure that it felt very kind of realistic. So when you look at the way that the skiff moves
Oh,
around
the
the
skiff
water,
skins that
the
are gonna
yaw
come
of
out,
the
man.
skiff will adjust, which is like there's the water plane and then the yaw is like how it tilts. After the first beta, right, there was a lot of feedback that we had gotten around how it felt, and we wanted to take a lot of that feedback in and process it and make sure that it felt like a part of the
do
world.
so
Fishing
much
is just kind of a
work.
completely different ball game because it's the first
is the new expansion. It
gathering
comes
type that
out
we've
in, like,
introduced,
40
I think,
minutes.
since core game and core launch. A lot of the things that we tried to make sure of was that it felt substantial and it felt fun, but it also kind of felt accessible to everybody. So you've got your mining, you've got your gathering, you've got your logging. Fishing is a evolution of those things, but we still want it to feel kind of accessible to all of the players. But unlike other gathering types, you're interacting with a living creature, so you have
Look
to be
at all those-
patient
the
and wait
pole,
for the
like,
right time
bends.
for it to bite, and then you strike. And the team
The
spent a
water's
lot of
so
time making
pretty.
sure that both fishing and boats felt good for the single player and for multiplayer whenever people are experiencing the content.
What's your favorite part of fishing?
There's a bunch of parts of fishing that are really exciting, but I think very akin to my thoughts on the siege turtle, it's going to be the way that it interacts with not just Cantha in the expansion content, but with the entire world, right? Because you can fish anywhere in Tyria that has water. It's a very key thing, as I have water. There are different fish depending on which part of Tyria you're in, right? And there's difference in difficulty and experience depending on which kind of fish are in what area and what you're going for.
so excited just to see how it
and
works.
The thing that I love and think I'm most excited for is for players to be able to go into, you know, old maps and new maps and be able to find the spots where they think they're going to be able to get the things that they're looking for, right? Hunt down all of the different kinds of fish. And there's really just that experience of being able to know that, like, every single part of the world has something that you can experience new for areas that you've already
Anywhere,
visited, you've already
guild
explored, you've
halls,
already
you can
mastered.
go back to
I think that's
Queensdale and
fantastic,
fish, like,
personally.
the
Bringing
whole
these
map,
new
it's the
systems
whole
into the game,
world.
what were some of the development challenges of adding skiffs and fishing?
With
Sandfish.
skiffs, you know, there was the multiplayer element of it. You know, as I mentioned earlier, it was the attention to detail stuff, as well as trying to make sure that it felt good for both the single player and for the multiplayer aspect of it. Fishing, though, was a completely different ballgame.
You guys want to go? You guys want to hop on my skiff and we'll go riding around?
Within
We'll go fishing
Arteria
together.
and the expansions that allows for
What if
people
there's
to
fish
be
you can
able
only
to feel
catch
like
if you're, like,
the experience is
fishing
different
with
but
people?
similar. One developer specifically, John Hargrove, had to had the task of researching and naming every single fish.
Oh my
So when
God.
you have that overarching goal set of let's try to make every area feel kind of realistic to how it would be, where like you have different kinds of fish depending on if it's freshwater or saltwater, right?
Wow.
Like shallow water, deep water, and kind of laying those things out was a monumental task. I think he said that it's like the biggest Excel doc he's ever had to do, and he's worked here for a very long time. So he definitely had a lot of fun with it. I think that at the end of the day, he did an amazing job, but that was definitely one of the more time-consuming parts of the development
Oh, for
cycle.
sure.
Very much so. So as long as you're giving hints,
I'm so
on
glad
where
you're
to
gonna
find
give the
things,
game a try, Ventu.
Can you give some insider hints
Spreadsheets.
for players who want to progress their skiffs and their
Purdy
fishing
skiff.
as quickly as possible,
We're gonna
or as
have a purdy
efficiently as
skiff.
possible?
Yeah,
gonna be pink.
I think that
Pink and peach.
experience boosters, making sure that your character is nourished, right? Focusing on getting those mastery tracks to a point that will allow you to utilize the like the fishing power mechanics. Because we actually, with food in the game now, some of them will actually grant you fishing power as well, which will help you catch the rarer fish, make it a bit easier for
Nice.
you to catch fish across the board, as well as fishing with your friends. I think is something that is going to help everyone exponentially, because whenever you're in a party and you're fishing with your friends in the exact same skiff or within the same area, each fish that any of you catches helps the entire party get more fishing power, and it just kind of adds upon
Fishing
itself
power.
to help even those who are probably not as good at the minigame to be able to hit this from an accessible standpoint.
Oh,
Can
nice.
you share a behind-the-scenes story of developing fishing?
Since this is a new feature, we wanted to make sure that we could add keybind access to it. The main designer of fishing, who is John Hargrove, went to the main programmer, which was Paul Quinn, which shout out to the both of them. They've done an absolutely amazing job. But he was like, hey, Paul, can you set up a keybind for this, right? Standard stuff. But what's interesting is that Paul
love
Quinn
that
actually
Safari. Looks
chose
amazing.
a very specific
thank
letter,
you.
which was J. Of
What,
course,
J,
it took a
thank
second to be like, why does that one feel so good, right? And the reason for it was because he was like, oh yeah, I chose J because J is like a hook, right? And it was just like, everybody was like, perfect. It was a really small interaction, right? But it's
What's
it's
that
so
character's
good.
armor in the background?
So-
Is that new?
it's worth sharing.
I love it.
The J looks like a hook. That's so great.
Music and audio design are a massive part of crafting every Guild Wars 2
they're gonna
expansion
kill
and
me with the
creating a
music.
wonderful player experience.
think there's been an
We'd like to
expansion yet
share
that I
a few
haven't
minutes
cried
of
at
this
the music.
composition from the End of Dragon soundtrack.
I don't think there's been an expansion or like a Living World season that one of the tracks didn't
Hi,
make me cry.
My name is McLean Deemer, and I'm the lead composer for Guild
I got the
Wars
vinyl
2 End of
too.
Dragons.
So excited.
We just finished 3 amazing days here at Ocean Way Studios in Nashville, recording with some of the world's best musicians.
If you pre-ordered
We're
the
gonna combine
vinyl,
the orchestra that
they're
you're
going to
used to
send you the
hearing in
digital
game
soundtrack,
with
or
some
if you
amazing
buy the
new
digital
sounds that come
soundtrack,
from
be aware
Korea
that they
to
said that
bring you into the
song
world of
titles could
Cantha.
have story spoilers, so beware of that. Oh, this theme hits hard. The Path of Fire theme was very, like, kind of low-key. Like, in this one, they went really hard with this. McLean did an amazing job. Like, I get chills. It's incredible. The few other tracks that I've heard previews of, like, chills every time I've listened. Oh my god, I know the character select screen. I'm gonna cry. Just the character select screen being different. I watched part of the music stream. I watched the part from when they showed like the McLean's first iteration of the theme song, like his first submission, and then which they rejected. They actually played it, and it still sounded amazing. But this is worlds above anything. And then I heard the Slums. They previewed the music of the Slums, and like Like, I wasn't the only one in chat who said that their like subwoofer was literally like shaking their room. It was insane. Yeah, the launcher will change, the character select screen will change. Yeah, I've been trying not to watch a lot of the live streams because I don't want spoilers. I'm going into this expansion much more blind than the others, which I think is why it feels a little weird to me.
It's been a lot of work, and you have all made it into something special. So thank you very much.
But I couldn't resist watching some of the music live stream.
End of Dragons is introducing the new Jade Bot Mastery line.
yeah.
Let's meet your helpful, customizable friends.
Junlai Jade is always refining the product.
Did you guys hear
that
the
make Cantha
the
a more
remixes?
accessible,
They like sent
advanced
some of the
nation.
songs to
With creative
like
and
music
thoughtful
producers.
design, the same
Oh
technology
my god, they're
used in
amazing.
Jade Next
There better be a
can almost
nightclub.
fit in the palm of your hand.
Jade nightclub.
Say hello to your new adventuring companion. We all have different needs, so you can customize your Jade Bot with a module. Let them speed up your skiff, energize your mount, recycle items, scavenge for you, and more.
Oh my god,
Equip
their
it
little
with a
sounds.
robust power core, and your bot can even enhance your vitality. Your Jade Bot will always be there to give you a boost, save you time, and pick you up when you're down.
There's gonna be so much to
It's
do. I
great
can't.
company when you just want to take in the
He's
view.
pushing the boat. He makes the
Make a
boat
little
go
room in your
faster.
heart for Jade Bots. They'll
my
be
God,
available
Katie.
to unlock and customize soon.
Jade Bots, a new feature coming in End of Dragons, are helpful little companion robots that you're going to be able to earn in-game and upgrade with
I don't know if
modules
we
that
can
help
dye
perform
them.
various functions for you in-game, like reviving you when you're downed, giving your mounts more endurance to perform their mount abilities more often, and so on. Joining us next is Ben, one of our design
Hi, Ben.
managers, to talk about Jade Bots. Hi, Ben.
Hey Ruby, thanks for having me.
What's been your favorite part about working on this feature?
It's just the ability to give players kind of another companion that may be a little less obtrusive than some of the other companions, that he could just kind of sticks around and helps you out when you need.
What were some of the biggest challenges to adding this feature for you and the team?
I think the biggest one was when we first proposed this, the server engineers were a little dumbfounded that we would want to propose a system that gave every player the ability to spawn another creature into the game. Pretty expensive, so they were rightly concerned. We made some adjustments and we came up with a new art pipeline specifically for the Jade Bots. Whenever you issue the Jade Bot command, it's actually an effect that plays rather than an entity spawning in the game. So it saved us a ton of server
Makes sense.
performance.
A lot of players are going to be wanting to get their hands on the Jade Bots. What's your insider advice on how to get those and level up those masteries most efficiently?
Yeah, I'd say one of the big things is that a lot of the higher tier, the tier 3 modules actually require drops from bosses and from events. And they're not guaranteed drops, so keep an eye on your loot as you get it in case you get something useful.
All right, thank you so much, Ben. I
Interesting.
appreciate it.
Okay.
I want to talk now about the End of Dragons Elite Specializations.
Dragon
Elite
Punk!
Specializations
Oh my God.
give you a whole new way to play your character. You get the ability to wield a new weapon, and you get a full set of new abilities. Each of our previous 2 expansions brought a set of Elite Specializations to Guild Wars 2 characters,
Virtuoso is
and
my
End of
favorite
Dragons
from
will
the
bring a 3rd
beta.
set. Game designer Cal Cohen has been helping us present these Elite Specializations as we've revealed them over the past few months, and he's back today as we count down to
What
End of
major
Dragons
features
launch
do you
to
think
help us
that
go
they've
through
kept
them
quiet
one
about?
more time.
I don't think
So
there's
I'm
going to
Cal,
be
I'm a game
anything.
designer. I work a lot on player
insanely
versus player and world
huge,
versus world
like-
game modes. For End of Dragons, I also do a lot
I
of
think
work
surprising
on
us with the
specializations.
Griffin.
Worked a lot with the skills teams.
I don't think it's going to be
Let's start with the
that
Harbinger,
big,
the
but
Necromancer's
there'll be-
Elite
there'll be
Specialization.
little
Why don't you
surprises
take us through
everywhere.
that one first?
Absolutely.
But
So the
nothing
Harbinger
like,
is
oh,
really
here's a
exciting
mount
take
that
on the
we've hidden.
Necromancer. In the past, we've seen
Especially
a lot
like
more
a flying mount.
defensive
That was
oriented
insane.
with core
I can't believe
Necromancer,
they did
Reaper,
that. I still can't believe they did
Scourge.
that.
These are
I
a
don't
lot
think it's
more
going to be
tanky.
anything
That's
that
more
big.
stereotypical Necromancer.
There'll be tons of
but
little
with the Harbinger, we're
surprises,
going a
things to
lot more
find, things to
aggressive.
unlock.
The Harbinger Shroud does not defend you from incoming damage. It's just a purely offensive kit, a bit of mobility and a little bit of CC, but just a lot of damage and just a big disconnect from what Necromancer players are really used to. So within the Shroud, you're going to be accumulating this new mechanic called Blight.
I would
It's
love
going
housing
to
in this game.
decrease
Oh
your
my
outgoing
God.
health, but it's also going to kind of empower some of your abilities. Or elixir skills will be more powerful. Elixir skills are the new utility type, which are going to be giving you some boon application both to yourself and to allies when you go into certain trait
I liked the
selections.
Harbinger.
But also, they're going to be potentially aggressive options,
It was
damaging
really
and
fun.
condition
I was
applications to
worried
enemies.
at first
And
'cause it
the weapon
seemed
of
super
choice for the Harbinger is a
complicated.
pistol. It's a nice little hybrid weapon, a nice all-rounder type weapon to
But I
really
really
bring the class
enjoyed-
together.
Okay, moving on to
Really
the
enjoyed
Mesmer.
the,
The elite specialization is the Virtuoso.
Virtuoso's
What are
my
Mesmer
favorite.
players getting in the Virtuoso?
So Virtuoso really started out as this kind of psychic swordsman was the big theme behind it. This idea of just throwing a flurry of psychic mental
It's a
blades,
pizza
and we
tin
pulled out the
spec.
clones. No more clones, you just have blades that kind of hover
bunch of shanks.
around your character, and you can kind of carry blades between fights. You don't have to worry about your clones being tethered to any particular enemy, so it just gives a lot more flexibility. Virtuoso is also going to get a dagger as their new weapon. So in addition to the dagger, the Virtuoso is also going to get access to the psionic utility type. This is a new utility type. It's kind of a general jack of all trades.
Psionic.
Just a lot of different options to pick and choose what you're trying to do with your Virtuoso, or whether you're trying to go more aggressive or defensive. You're going to find some skills within this utility type that will fit your playstyle.
So tell us about the Willbender.
I think a lot of us internally are really excited about the Willbender because it's very much this speedy guardian, more mobility. So you just have the opportunity to fly around the battlefield, that unique style of play that you haven't had
I need to
access
like level
before.
myself up.
Also, the offhand sword
Before
definitely
I
brings
could
some mobility to the table. In
play
addition to
the
giving some
Willbender.
mobility, they're also going to give you a lot of access to crowd control, really lock down those priority targets and just unleash the large amount of damage that's available through the Willbender.
Let's talk about the Vindicator.
So the Vindicator is a really exciting one. Every elite specialization for the Revenant really starts with the legend, and
That's one I
so
keep
with
forgetting
Cantha,
the
we
name
see Saint Victor and we see Archimedes as kind of the iconic heroes of Cantha. But that's two separate legends. But it also gave us the opportunity to really create two different play styles within a single elite specialization, which is two legends, because obviously two is much better than one by about twice as much. We definitely wanted to create an offensive, aggressive DPS character, the Archimedes side. But then Saint Victor is the more defensive, supporty character. And the other main thing changing with the Vindicator that is also the dodge mechanic. The Vindicator is replacing those with a more powerful single-use dodge ability that lasts a little bit longer, but it's also going to have a lot of damage or healing, or also boon application. That's
so
an
cool.
option that you'll be able to
Change
choose
the
through
dodge.
your traits. And of course, it's getting access to the
Teleport
Great
for the 4
Sword, which is
years.
primarily a power DPS weapon that's going to bring a lot of power to the Vindicator.
The warrior profession is getting the Blade Sworn. So let's look at that one next. What
Blade
does this
Sworn.
involve?
The primary starting point for the design of the Blade Sworn started around the Iai Jutsu sword technique, which is, the singular moment where you draw your sword and swing it, and that is where the gun saber came from. So the gun saber is kind of similar to an engineer kit, where it is a separate set of 5 skills that you
get a
can
gun
swap
blade.
into in place of your alternate weapon set. The Blade Sworn will only have access to a
Vindicator is
single
literally
weapon
the
set because they
dragon.
now also have the gun saber. It's a fairly generalist kit, a little bit of defense, a little bit of mobility, and that's also going to enable the Dragon Slash. Instead, you're going to go into this meditative stance, and that's going to charge up for a little while, and then you'll swing your sword, deal a lot of damage. There's a lot of flexibility in what your finishing move is as the Blade Sworn.
This
You're also
music.
getting access to an offhand pistol, and finally, you're going to have access to the armament skill type. And there's some projectile destruction, you have some adrenaline generation, you also have access to some cooldown reduction, just a lot of different tools depending on the situation.
The
You're going to have
music's
access
gonna
to something
destroy me.
via the armament skill type.
Okay, we're
Hi,
getting to
Bari.
2 that are exciting to me personally. I may be a little bit biased because I've been playing it for so long, but the Elementalist Elite Specialization, the Catalyst, this one's interesting to me, so why don't you talk about that one?
The Catalyst really started on the development side with the hammer kit itself. Depending on the attunement you're in, you're either going to have a more melee style kit or a more range style
Ella
kit.
hammer.
So
I
once we
did
had the
not
hammer,
see
we were
that
trying to
coming.
figure out what is the profession mechanic that plays well with this kind of melee ranged hybrid flexible weapon. And that
very.
really
I
led
don't
us to
even
the
play
Jade
Mesmer.
Sphere.
I suck as Mesmer.
Jade Sphere is a
and the
deployable
Virtuoso is
area
my
effect
favorite.
skill, which is
You know,
going
of
to
the
give
10
boons
minutes
to
I've
allies,
played
but
each of the new
also
elite specs.
damage enemies in that radius. It's also a combo field, which is going to play really well with a lot of the combo finishers available to both the hammer and the elementalist in general. So additionally, the Catalyst is getting access to the augment utility type. And these are a set of personal kind of self buffs that are going to empower or also
Elementalist,
defend
my
you
favorite
from
melee
certain
class. That's
situations.
I have been playing my Elementalist for a very long time since Guild Wars 2 came out, but I'm also loving my Thief a lot lately. The Spectre is
Spectre
the
was
Thief's
really
elite
cool.
specialization.
I
what
liked
am I
the
going to be able to
Virtuoso,
do?
the
So
Spectre, and the
is a
Harbinger, I
support
think, were my
thief.
3 favorites.
This is still the aggressive thief character that thieves know and love, but at the same time, you'll be able to support nearby allies. The primary mechanic is the Shadow Shroud, and once you build up enough energy through combat, you'll be able to enter this Shadow Shroud, which is then going to tether you to a nearby ally. In addition to the Shadow Shroud, Thief is getting access to Mainhand's Scepter. So this is, again, trying to be that more supporty type of weapon. We have a new ally targeting system that's going to allow you to either target allies with these skills and then empower them or support them, or you can also target your enemies with the same skills, but instead you'll be dealing damage. The Spectre is also going to get access to the Well utility type. They're also all mobility skills. The way that the Spectre Wells work is that you will shadow step to a location and then drop the well. And the wells have varying effects. We're going to see the more aggressive route. We're going to see the more supportive route. I'm expecting to see both of these once we get live, and both of them should be a pretty effective way to play the class.
All right, so the 8th elite specialization is the Ranger's Untamed. What does this one do?
For anyone who's familiar with Guild Wars 1, the
Yeah, I
Bunny
forgot about
Thumper was kind of this
Bunny
iconic
Thumper.
Guild Wars 1 Hammer Ranger, Ranger Warrior hybrid build.
Yes.
So in the Guild Wars 2 sense, we have the Hammer Ranger is now the Untamed. And the Hammer is, again, going to be that similar melee brawler playstyle that has access to
Another
either a lot
hammer.
of damage or a lot of crowd control, and that's going to be given through the Unleash mechanic. That's the professional mechanic for the Untamed, which is going to bounce this kind of more raw power of nature between you and your pet. And then when the pet itself is unleashed, it's going to have access to a few new skills you'll be able to command and use as you see fit. We see that on the new Unleashed Ambush skills that are going to become available when you enter that Unleashed state for a short
There's
amount
a
of time.
Phoenix to get.
The
I'm gonna have to
Untamed
get
is
the
also
new
going to get access to
pets
the
for the Ranger.
Cantrip utility type. These are going to be a lot more defensive focused. There's a little bit of damage in there, but primarily defensive options to really enable that melee brawler playstyle. We see some
Ranger's
condition
always
cleanse,
been my,
we see
like,
some
secondary
crowd control,
class.
we see some heavy defensive mitigation skills. So a lot of
Here for the
different
Untamed,
ways
fun
to
vibes.
flesh out that melee playstyle with the Untamed.
And
Yeah,
last
it's
but not
interesting.
least is the Mechanist elite specialization
Oh,
for the
I forgot about
engineers.
Mechanist. Yeah,
the
Mechanist is
elite
really cool.
specialization that filled the game with Jade mechs during that last beta event. Cal, why don't you tell us about this one?
So once we knew we were doing Jade Tech for End of Dragons, the Mechanists came together pretty quickly, at least the general idea. It's like, all right, we have Jade Tech. What if there was just a
Wow.
huge Jade mech available to the engineer, and essentially creating more of this pet class. And that influenced a lot of the design for the rest of the specialization, because within the traits, you're able to select different skills that the Jade mech has access to,
Mechanist, not
allowing you to go
Machinist,
either
that's right.
more power damage, more condition damage, a little more support.
Yeah, oh, I
The
totally
mech
forgot
can
you have a
kinda do it all.
Mechanist
That's something
would
we wanted
probably
to
be my
make
top
sure.
3.
The mech is a standalone. We wanted to make sure that it could fill a few different roles. So in addition to the traits, the signets are also going to be almost like mech skills in themselves, where some of them will command the mech, the elite skill
crazy.
commands the mech to use the Jade Buster Cannon and shoots this giant laser, dealing a bunch of damage. Some of them are a bit more tame. You have to heal the mech pushes enemies back from
that. It
around
really
it.
makes
So a
me
lot of
wanna
ways to interact with your
play
mech through
engineer.
the signet actives. And obviously being signets, they also give you and your mech some bonus stats when they're not on cooldown. Finally, the Mechanist is also going to have access to the Mace weapon, bit of a condition damage and a little bit of a support style weapon. So the Mechanist really has a lot of different ways that you can play it. And we're really excited to see kind of the army of Jade mechs that appear in the world and all doing various different things. It'll be really interesting to see how that plays out.
End of Dragons is our 3rd expansion, and today we're opening the gates to Cantha, which was a major gameplay and story setting back in the original Guild Wars game.
Yeah.
This seems like a good time to mention to those of you who are new in our community that you can play the core Guild Wars 2 game entirely free with no subscription fee. Just head to
Yes.
guildwars2.com, create your account, and download the client. We can't wait for you to join our community.
Ruby, I love your face.
This 3rd generation of legendaries is imbued with the magic of the Elder Dragon Aurene, but there is more to come and more to tell about the legendaries, so I will turn it over to Nick for that.
Hi, everybody. As
Welcome
Ruby
back,
just mentioned,
Nick.
I'm going to be talking about the legendary weapons
Jessica,
that are
thank you
coming
for
out
the
with this
2
expansion.
years,
with
my legendary
the
Peach.
launch of End of Dragons,
Love
we're going to
you,
be
babe.
releasing the Aurene set, but after End of Dragons, we also have a bunch of other sets coming in as well, each themed off of the Elder Dragons
so
that currently
cool.
exist
That's
within
so
the game.
cool.
That means that you're going to be having close to like 100 different weapons that you can have. Yeah, it's a lot. With each specific set being tailored and themed towards each
100?
of the
That-
dragons, like Krakatorik, like Zaitan, Mordremoth, etc. One of the overarching
Somebody
goal
do
sets
that
for the
math.
team
How many
was
Elder
like
Dragons
having
are there?
something that
Hold up.
added a level of prominence
Hold
that
up.
was identical to like PvP and World v World finishers, right? Where it doesn't matter if you're in the middle of combat, the second you see somebody stomp, you know that that just happened because those effects are there. And there's also the fashion aspect of it, right? Because we're fashion wars too, as a lot of people
Fashion.
already know. So the variety in which each of these different sets is kind of visualized allows for people to be able to diversify different outfits depending on which legendary they choose and which legendary from which set they choose, right? Because Mordremoth is going to have a very different feel than Krakatorik and a very different
I just
look.
want Aurene because they're going to be
what
like
kind of
prismatic
challenges
and light
came
and
with
pretty.
implementing these?
Ooh.
Blast was never an Elder Dragon. He was supposed
I've
to be
heard
an
a
Elder
lot of
Dragon.
stories.
Danny guy.
And as mentioned earlier,
Oh.
right? It's like 100
Okay.
weapons. So it's like, how does the team
You're right,
approach
Grim Whisper.
those
7
weapons
dragons, 16
and
weapon
their
types.
visuals in a way that is different enough that helps people feel like each one is worth the investment, while also being similar enough that it allows for the development team to have some flexibility and consistency in the way they approach them. And I think the main artist was Chelsea Mills, who's God, as everyone knows. You know, she was able to take the base models and find a way to have them sculpted in a specific style that allowed
You're
for
gonna get the
things
Krakatorik set.
like
Ugh.
the crystals from Aurene's
Yes.
weapons to be able to be molded and changed to like a wood texture and
Jormag
wood
set's
feel
gonna be
for the
really
ones
pretty.
that are Mordremoth-esque, right? But
No, they
even
probably
though
won't do
the
underwater.
silhouettes are the same, right? The coloring is different. The material usage is different. Kind of all of that stuff allowed for us to be able to meet those two goals. The color palette in and of itself wasn't a completely separate challenge, right? Because when the team took the base color palettes that you'd expect from dragons like Mordremoth and Zaitan,
There's
what
been
you'd
so
see is that
little
they're actually very
about the
similar.
said about
There's
the
a lot
Tengu.
of dark greens and browns because one is like wood and one is like death,
like,
and those
major
are very similar color
NPCs,
palettes. I think that Chelsea did a
like,
great job trying to
that
find
they've
ways to
named
be
or
able to
revealed that I
differentiate
know
these
of.
things while still keeping the core themes. I
Like,
think
we've seen
something
them,
that you
they're
noted was one of her
there.
favorite parts was like there's like some like
been very
brain
quiet about
stuff
the
and very like
Tengu.
flesh, like decaying flesh colors, so that helps it pop comparatively to like Mordremoth, you know, so it's like flesh textures versus wood textures.
I did-
and,
I
like,
did switch back to my
brain-esque
legendary
kind of popping
armor
colors versus the like Mordremoth
for the
very
expansion, of
naturey
course.
ones. Those are just some
Strawley's
of the
default
challenges.
look.
Of course, there were ones that were very great and very small comparatively, but overall, that was definitely some of the bigger ones.
What were some of the funniest things that happened during development of these legendaries?
Well, with our game, right, and with these legendaries specifically, they will have specific effects, right? Because like the FX team also did a large pass on these things, which I think actually, to mention, was another challenge.
They better, they're
Like,
legendary
how
weapons.
does the FX team make differing effects for each of the things that are going to be happening, like the final blow that happens when
Oh,
you
I
kill
love that
creatures.
rainbow.
It actually scaled depending
Burst of
on
rainbow.
the size of the model, which is like, you know, you can be a character model, it could be a transform, but what was really interesting is that it was inverse. So like, when you're a giant Norn, the effects scaled to like Asura size. Or when you're like an Asura, the effects would scale to Norn size. So that was definitely one of the ones that everybody was like, this is hilarious. I think the key one that Lee Bledsoe, who is the he is the effects lead for this expansion, and I think Stephen McNally, right? There was a story that was shared about that one that I think is hilarious, where the effects that we were talking about earlier, like it was playing off of the models and not off of the agent, which probably is like, what's the difference? The difference there is that imagine like you kill Pocket Raptors and then it's just like multiple explosions of like every single Pocket Raptor getting the effect played off of them. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it was really interesting to see that because it's just like fireworks all of a sudden, right? Like you hit one.
Because Pocket Raptors and the baby Karka, those are very tiny enemies in our game that always travel in packs.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's just a bunch of small dudes and one thing equals big explosions and fireworks. So I think that like that in and of itself was
Yeah,
just
we'll figure things out,
fantastic.
like unlocking the
to
new
kind of
guild
witness
hall
an
and stuff
experience.
after I'm done with the story.
Plug-wise.
Figure all of that out. But yeah, oh man, I can't wait for the new guild hall.
I want to spend a little bit of time talking about guild halls. Guild halls in Guild Wars 2 are a private space for you and your guild that you can personalize and make your own. End of Dragons is bringing a new guild hall to the game, one with a unique Canthan aesthetic. Nick, why don't you tell us about that?
For the Guild Hall expedition that we've got going on, you're going to be getting the chance to engage with characters that you might be familiar with from the main storyline, like Akane and Beyond as examples, but they're going to be playing more of a lead and integral role within the expedition and the narrative of that kind of acquisition method and the gameplay itself for guild halls, which I think is really exciting. But alongside that, you know, something else to kind of note when it comes to those themes and the subject matter for the guild halls is that the
if you
guild
want in the
hall
PT Party Guild,
actually
put
is
your
in a
account
place that's going to be
name
familiar
in
to
the
players who
Guild
have
Wars 2
played Guild Wars
section
1.
of the
What we
Discord
decided
server.
is that instead of adding that area to Saitung Province, the team decided it'd be best to have that be the guild hall for players who want to be able to experience that slice of Cantha. And alongside that, what's actually really fantastic is that one of the original map artists for Guild Wars 1 was the one that was chosen to work on it. Specifically,
Nice.
shout out to Darren Claypool, who was said artist, who did an absolutely amazing job with the area. It's gorgeous, honestly.
Yeah,
It's gonna
it
be
really
so
is.
picturesque.
What
Oh my
about you,
God.
Andrew? What can you tell us about the guild halls?
So the guild hall actually takes place on an island that actually has quite a bit of historical relevance to the Winds of Change content. It's the location where their original leader, Riku, was killed by the Guild Wars 1 protagonist.
Riku.
So we definitely wanted to sort of touch on that when we were
Riku's
making the
dead,
capture
guys.
event for this guild hall. Two things we kept in mind for the capture event was,
Uninstall.
one, we want to tell a little bit more of a story, and then two, we want to make sure that guilds, regardless of the size of the guild, will be able to capture this guild hall. So we made sure to make the content more encounter focused and a little bit less, oh my god, there's waves of enemies coming at me from every direction. That means players in a larger guild can sort of divide and conquer if they want to and take on these multiple encounters simultaneously. Or we left a generous enough time limit that if a group of, if a two-person guild wants to go in there, they can just do those encounters one by one.
Aw, that's
and still have
nice.
enough time to capture
That's
their own
nice.
hall. We thought it was appropriate for a guild to be able to capture their own hall without the reliance on, you know, asking somebody in Lion's Arch for help. And then on top of that, this map, I think, is probably the blankest slate for guild decorators. We deliberately made a lot of open space and little sub-islands off of the main island to allow people to let their
so cool.
imaginations go crazy. Please invite me when you build your cool racetracks so I can come check them out.
You just assured so many invitations.
No, that's great. I love seeing that stuff that players build. It is insane.
When you switch guild halls, your old guild hall, the decorations get erased
One more thing I
forever.
wanna
So
talk
if
about
you
while we
want to
still have
do
Indigo
like
here
the
is
racetrack in
Arborstone.
there or anything,
Arborstone
that's
is
the
a
way Spidey
player
is
hub
built,
next
make
to
sure
the
to like
Echo
get
Vault
your
Wilds
playtime in.
map
'cause
with
it's
lots of
gonna
amenities
switch over
and
at some
fun
point.
little secrets to discover that you as the
You know
player
what?
can
Thank
level
you,
up
Eternal
and improve
Peach.
as you go through the gameplay. So Indigo,
I
why don't you tell us
know.
more about what we'll
It's
find in
crazy
Arborstone?
that it's
Yeah,
here.
absolutely. So Arborstone was a really fun opportunity. It's a brand new player hub, like Ruby said, and we've covered it on a couple of occasions. Arborstone will be a recognizable location to some of our factions fans, but what we
was
see in
crazy.
Arborstone now is very, very new. And basically, we go there and we end up at a point in the story using it as a refuge, and then we have the
Nice.
ability after that point to level it up. There's a bunch of collections that we can do
Oh,
through it. I even
cool.
wrote a couple of those collections, and that was a really fun opportunity, and players can be really
Yeah,
excited to
crazy.
kind of dive into some side stories and utilize a bunch of different aspects of that. I'm expecting it to be like a really exciting new place for people to go hang out with their friends. There's crafting stations. I know Annie Vandermeer, who was the primary designer on it, poured so much love alongside Morgan Lockhart, the writer that worked on Arborstone. Like any of the other maps, it's reactive to the story. It's kind of this hub for all of the characters to
I
return
didn't realize
to.
it was a player
It's very
hub.
safe and comforting and
Upgradable.
warm. And oh my God, is it a beautiful map. It's probably one of the most stunning things in the expansion,
It's
and
really
I adore it so
warm,
much. You can walk through
inviting,
those hallways
cozy
forever.
place to be. It's like the
massive,
stone
and it's the kind of
cathedral.
place that really encourages you
Wow.
to explore.
Oh my
And I
God.
think
Roxanne,
players are going to
thank
get a kick
you.
out of it. It's also the hub and the checkpoint for our strike missions. So there's just all sorts of things you can do. There are no limits. It's really fun opportunity.
there are some features that we haven't talked about.
Yeah, I think my favorite thing about Arborstone, like I said, was just that it's such a big part of the map, and it's separate
Wow.
from Akavald, but it really just encourages you to explore. And I'm the kind of person that can just get lost really quickly, especially in building complexes in games. And there's so many rooms and nooks and crannies, and I feel like I find something new every single time, especially as like the art assets were coming in.
god
It was really
statues are
cool
there.
to see that come together, and I'm so excited for players to get to experience it too.
Oh my god.
So, do you have any behind-the-scenes stories from Arborstone development that you want to share?
Yeah, one of the, like I had mentioned about Annie, the main designer on
She talked about it
Arborstone,
being so
was she was
big,
just
there's all
so
these
incredibly
rooms,
passionate about
and then Ruby
building
said
a
there's
map
features
that was
we
a
haven't
lovely
talked
homage to
about.
what Arborstone was.
Housing?
But she would basically throughout the entire like expansion,
Could they
when we were
have
working
kept
on it, she
housing
would
a
take
secret?
tours of developers through just to show us what she was doing, to get
I'm
feedback.
not gonna get my hopes up,
We're
but
all so excited
was very sus.
about this content, and Annie's just one example of that. And just her excitement is just infectious, and you can't help but just be really thrilled. And I think that players are going to really appreciate the product that kind of culminated in.
I'm not trying to give you hope, I'm just saying.
One thing
How
we
cool
haven't
that would
talked
be.
about yet are the strike missions coming in End of Dragons. Joining us
They
next
better.
is Cam Rich, our senior game designer. Cam, hi, welcome.
This game is
Hello, nice to be here.
So
What's up,
why don't
Cameron?
you start by talking a little bit about who you are
game
and
is
what
like-
you do here at ArenaNet?
that's like
Hi, I'm Cameron
big
Rich.
thing
I'm a
that's
senior
missing
game
is
designer here at
housing.
ArenaNet. I act as the lead for the Encounters team that works on all the combat experiences for Guild Wars 2 End of
you have to
Dragons.
play the one more
Okay,
thing
so
game.
what are strike
well, they
missions?
did tease it like
Strike missions in
CG
Guild
trailer.
Wars 2 are 10-player instances that you can tackle with your friends.
I'm
You get
guessing
pitted
this
up
might
against
end
some
with
epic
that.
bosses that you might have seen in the story
Patch
of
notes just
Guild Wars
released.
2
No-
End
no
of Dragons.
spoilers from the
and they're
patch notes,
souped-up
guys,
versions
please.
of these encounters which
Please,
require a lot more
no spoilers from
coordination
the patch
and
notes.
communication with your friends to take down.
Like they wouldn't
Who
put
are these
spoilers in
souped-up
there,
versions
but like
of the bosses in strike
just
missions?
saying.
Who are we encountering here?
They are moments from the End of Dragon's story, pitting you up against some antagonists that you'll find out more about whenever you play through the story itself. So while we won't reveal exactly who those antagonists are today, you can expect to encounter them as you go through the End of Dragon's story content.
Can you talk a little bit about how
Hey,
these enemies
Omni.
fight and maybe what some of the abilities are that they have?
For the strike missions, we really want to make sure that we're dialing in on what kind of personalities these characters and creatures have, and how we can actually display those personalities through the mechanics of the encounter. So we ask questions about like what kind of weapons do they use? What kind of powers do they have at their disposal? Is there any signature
Oh my
trait to
God.
them that we might be able to think
all
of
the
creative
devs
ways of
watching,
creating
their
mechanics
hearts
that
must be
shows
going
that
so-
personality
they've been working
through the
on this for
mechanic
so
itself?
long.
We want
My
the
heart-
encounters to
my heart
really
goes
feel like
out
an
to
extension of
you.
the
Oh my
character that you're
God.
fighting, rather than just
Thank you for all your hard
stay out
work.
of the orange and go into the green.
You've been working on strike missions for a really long time, and I know this is a labor of love. What do you think is going to just blow players away with the new End of Dragon strike missions?
Well, while I don't want to give any spoilers for the exact moments, I will say that each encounter in End of Dragons has moments that are designed to really surprise players, make them take a moment to say, wow, what is happening right now? And just kind of get them a little bit
is-
hyped
what
up
is
for what's
that?
going to come next.
What do you want players to take away from each encounter when
rogue
they do
magic.
these strike missions and they're learning them?
So the End of Dragon strike missions are designed to be accessible for a wide audience, and part of that means that we need to teach players the mechanics that they need to learn and master in order to take those skills and tackle the higher difficulty content that already exists in the game, as well as the new content that's going to be coming out in the future. So if you're tackling these strike missions for the first time, it should teach you the skills that you need to succeed in the future.
Okay, let's go behind the scenes a little bit. How do you determine what is and is not working and what should stay and what should go?
Well, so the first thing that we do is we prioritize a rapid iteration schedule and aggressive testing. We try to get in
Okay.
early to make sure that we're playing the content as soon as possible in the development process, so we can find what's working and what's not, and follow the fun and focus on just picking that direction and running with it. That involves getting everybody together early and often. It involves getting QA involved in the process as early as possible, and it just takes a lot of rigorous testing to make sure that we're landing on the thing that is the highest quality version of the product.
What were some of your biggest challenges with that?
I think the biggest challenge that we faced with the End of Dragon strike missions was that we wanted to directly integrate them into the story of the expansion. And that required us to team up with the story team and the narrative team really, really early. It presented a lot of unique challenges that required some really creative solutions. But the team went above and beyond and exceeded my expectations and delivered something that we're all really proud of.
What's your favorite thing about the strike missions?
Oh man, so I'm a big fan of storytelling in games. One of the things that allows games to transcend other forms of media is creating experiences that take the narrative side of the game and integrate it into the gameplay. And so with the Strike missions and End of Dragons, we partnered up with the story team to think about how can we take the mechanics that we're building and tell the story that we're telling through the VO and the narrative lines through the actual encounter itself.
I love
think
when
we were able
bosses
to
talk
achieve
to you
that
during
on a
battle.
level that we haven't before, and it's really exciting, and I'm super, super happy to see what we were able to achieve.
It takes you out of like
As
just
the team was
doing
working
the
on this,
mechanics
what
and
player
puts you
feedback
back
did
into
you
the story,
incorporate?
like
We
why you're
talked about
fighting.
running this through its paces and testing it a lot and getting feedback. What was some of the player feedback on that?
So with our Ice Brute Saga Strike missions, we heard players loud and clear that the feedback was that they wanted to see a larger focus on teaching mechanics that players needed to learn in order to achieve success. That was something we took to heart, and we put into the design process of End of Dragon Strike missions from the very beginning. We focused on delivering experiences where players really needed to respect the mechanics of the encounter, learn them, and execute on them correctly in order to get to the finish line and achieve victory.
It's almost time for End of Dragons. It's almost time for these strike missions. For players who want to jump in and hit those strike missions as soon as they possibly can, what are some of your tips for strike mission success?
Well, I'm not going to spoil anything because part of the fun of taking on any encounter is learning the puzzle and figuring it out yourself. But I will say some general tips is to keep an open mind, be patient with each other, focus on communication and coordination, and be kind to each other as well. You'll achieve success. You just got to put in some work.
Hi, Carly. Have I mentioned how I love this game? Because I do.
From strike mission
It
development?
doesn't seem real.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't seem real.
The Encounters team focused on creating a wide variety of combat experiences to keep moment-to-moment gameplay fresh. And in this expansion, there are actually more armies created than any of the other expansions combined.
Whoa.
Thank you so much, Cam, and congratulations on the impending launch of End of Dragons. Okay, one last reminder that if you're new to Guild Wars 2, it is never too late to jump on that skiff. The core game is totally free, and as of today, you can upgrade your account with all 3 expansions. Expansions come with a max level boost, so you can jump into level 80 content with your friends right away. Special shout out to our player community, one of the friendliest and most helpful out there.
It really is.
Thank you all for everything you do to make new players feel welcome and help them on their journey. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. The gates of Cantha are about to open. We wish you all the best in your journey, whether you start playing right now or whether you watch ArenaNet partners play End of Dragons on the Guild Wars 2 Twitch channel. Either way, welcome to Cantha.
I definitely want to give a big thanks to everyone who participated in all of our beta events for the Elite Specializations, which gave us a lot of great data, a lot of opportunity to improve these for End of Dragons launch.
Thanks a lot for playing the game. You guys have stuck with us for so many years, and we're just excited for you to see it.
So obviously we've been holding a lot of things back because we wanted to avoid spoilers and let players experience these things for the first time in the game. And now that you're finally getting the opportunity to, I'm really excited to see how everybody reacts.
We've worked really, really hard to create an experience that we hope all of you are going to enjoy and love as much as we loved and enjoyed creating it for you.
I'm so excited for you guys to get to play this and experience the story that we've put together. We're so incredibly passionate about it and just have so much fun, and we just can't wait to share this all with you.
I love this game, you guys.
I hope y'all like Saitang Province, Xingzhe, because that's the thing that I put the most heart and soul into. And good luck to
We've got to
everybody
start
out
at
there.
Xingzhe, right? It's a new island.
It's gonna be a ride. That's for sure.
Oh, my heart is going out to the devs. Mwah. Oh my god.
In hundreds of years, we have seen so much change. The Elder Dragon's lust for magic is unsustainable, bringing a new season of transformation and conflict. Mortals forge new powers greater than themselves. My only fear is the consequences such creations may bring. The future still has yet to be written, but time is running out.
We're We've never gotten a trailer like this. Oh, I want to meet them so bad. These two are going to be so awesome. Are we back? Okay. No. I had that issue. It's my OBS. The hype. Okay, no, literally when my hype gets too much, my OBS crashes. I'm not joking. It happened? When did it happen? It happened sometime last week. I got super hype about something and my OBS crashed. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. Okay, so like, what was that like green dragon at the end? What? What was that green dragon in the sky at the end? There is no green dragon. And Bubbles is in the water, right? There's no, it was like a jade dragon. Okay, what if there's a jade dragon, dude? Oh my God. Are we still buffering? Refresh. I'm so sorry. I think my OBS crashed. File settings, OBS hype off. OBS is not allowed to be hype at all. It's just gotta work. It crashed and you didn't see? There was like a green dragon in the sky. So I still recorded my reaction locally. At least I hope it recorded. So I'll put it on YouTube, my reaction to the trailer. There was a green dragon in the sky. It did kind of look like Kralkatorrik. All right, I'm gonna open the launcher. I haven't seen the launcher yet. I'm gonna open the launcher. Thank you, Muskie, for the resub. And thank you, Thomas, as well for the resub. Yeah, we got a dramatic close-up. Okay, I'm gonna start it. New launcher. I can't show you because I don't want to show my desktop. Maybe I can here. Oh, cool. It's like a Jade bot. Hold up, I can. Give me a sec. Here we go. Here's the launcher. There's the new launcher. I kind of wish it was like Aurene rather than a Jade bot, but still. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys for being here. I'm so excited. I'm going to wait until it fully downloads. I don't want to to wait for anything to load in game. Oh my gosh. Mechs are now the new thing. Jade mechs. Well, like, it's gonna, like, Kyneg is gonna be filled with Jade mechs, and oh my God, crazy. People, is it 30 gigs? People say it's 30 gigs. The patch? I'm 1 gig in. You're at 4 gigs at 50%. Okay. No, the whole game is like at least 50, so now it's gonna be like 60. Last I looked, or no, was it 40? How big is this game now? Oh my God. All the mechs will be called Sparky. What if Timey gets like a Jade mech? Timey's gonna get Jade legs. We saw that in one of the trailers. Oh my God. Ugh. Crazy. Oh my God. I should really, yes, I should, while it's patching, I should go to the bathroom. Now's the time to refill your snacks, refill your drinks, get some water, go to the bathroom. Get up and stretch. Oh my God, I really should go pee and see if Mr. P made any more coffee. I don't think he did. System requirements were 55 gigs for the whole game. So after the End of Dragons patch, 55 gigs. Oh my God. It was Vilkrin. Yeah. It was like glowing with like jade energy. It could have been like the deep sea dragon like coming out of the water. It's so big that it's like still in the water, but like in the sky, like looking down. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, let's see how big this is. Oh my god. I can't. How is it here? I can't. I'm like less pre-prepared. I'm less pre-prepared this time than I've ever been for the other expansions. Hi, Alex. What's up? Are you gonna play it? Are you playing it now, or do you have to wait? Oh my god. End of Dragons, dude. Ah, I feel so unprepared. I'm sorry we didn't do like a guild gab or anything. I've just the past. You're downloading it right now. Oh my god. Oh my god. Happy expansion, guys. This is crazy. This is so weird. This is so weird. I've had to like take it easy on content creation the past couple. Well, the past year, just for my own health. So like I know I haven't put out as much content like leading up to End of Dragons, and like I said, I really wanted to go to see what it was like going into expansion without watching every live stream and getting every little single tidbit of information. Like I really wanted to go into this like kind of blind. And it's a different experience for sure, but like I mean I cried at the dev video. Like this is gonna be insane. This is gonna be crazy. I can't. Oh my god. Oh my god. New character start screen. I can't. Oh, and please don't spoil anything. Do not spoil anything. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. Oh, there's patch notes. I forgot. I don't know if I want to look at the patch notes. I don't know if there will be like spoilery stuff in the patch notes. You know what I mean? I mean, not for story, obviously. They don't put story spoilers in the patch notes, but like even just features, like I don't know if I want to look. Plus it's probably like forever long. So, welcome back, Mango. It's so good to see you. Welcome back to Guild Wars 2. Numix, thank you so much for the resub. Happy expansion day. Don't look. There's spoiler stuff for like features. Okay, don't say anything. Yeah, I'm not gonna look at the patch notes because I want to experience the new stuff in game as much as I can, like seeing it in front of my eyes in the game. Spoilers. There's Jade mechs. Skip the notes. Okay. Yeah, new gems. Oh my god, gems day one. Like there's gonna be like. You think there's gonna be like skip skins day one? All right, I'm gonna just go pee real quick. I'll be right back. Give me just a second. Just hope my OBS send all of your good vibes to my OBS. Okay. Let's hope that it doesn't crash. It's been not wanting to deal with my hype. Oh my goodness. Everybody breathe. I know I can just push play right now, but I'm gonna wait until it fully downloads. Set out the snacks. Hi Phil, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Blow on it. Go faster. OBS told me to calm down. I will not calm down. Oh my god. Yes. Yes. That's what I was saying before I left. I know that I haven't put out as much content lately as in the past. This past year, I've had to kind of go on a bit of an editing hiatus, a stream hiatus. I've had to really tone down a lot of my content creation just for personal health. But I will be putting, I will be streaming this whole thing. I will be putting out highlights of my reactions, just like I have done with every other story release. I'll put out my reaction to the trailer, which Twitch got cut off because my OBS freaked out. Yeah, I will put all of my reactions onto YouTube for you guys to enjoy. Where do you think this lands in terms of future content for the game? I know a lot of people thought it was done until this expansion cropped up. Do you mean like, are they going to do more expansions? Like, well, they've said that this isn't the end of the game. This is just the end of the Dragon Saga. So it's like the story kind of wrapped up, coming to a close, and then they're going to start a new one. But yeah, as far as you know, are they going to do more expansions, or I have no idea. I guess it depends on how well this one does. Hi, El Trio. Thank you for lurking. Thank you so much, everybody who's lurking. Everybody. Oh my gosh. Remember, please no spoilers of any kind. Not from the patch notes, not from in-game, nothing, nothing, nothing. If you want my reactions to be pure and unspoiled, then say nothing. The less you say, the more I'm gonna freak out when I see whatever this game has in store for us. Oh my gosh, it's still really bright. I'm gonna close these curtains. No sunlight. No sunlight. We're gonna put ourselves in our geek cave. Close ourselves in here. All right. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Ah. Okay. Hold up. One sec. Ah! What was that? Sorry. No, that was me, not you. It was me, not you. Hold up. I'm just gonna put this on Twitter real quick. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Okay, my heart's beating. My heart's beating. You ready? You ready? You ready? You ready? Play? Wait. Oh, I gotta log in. I forgot to log in. Here we go. Okay, that works. That works. We got this. I got this. It's fine. It's fine. My million characters. Ooh, it's so pretty! Does it move? The background like shifted. There you go. Where? It's moving. Did the other ones move like that? Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Oh my god. I just gotta go over to game capture. Hold on. There we go. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh my god. The cherry blossoms! Strawley is the magical girl. Crank the music up. I need this as a live background in Wallpaper Engine. Yes! Oh my god. This is like Strawley's default. She's been magical girl for a while. This is her. This is the commander. For me, this is the commander. Okay, here we go. I parked myself next to Aurene. This is insane. This is insane. My blue prophet shards. They did a conversion. Oh, we are so laggy. Okay. Zorene's gone. Aurene's gone. What is this? Little pink thing. Was that always there? People already with their Jade. Wait, are these players Jade mechs? Or is there just a Jade mech here? What? Shush. Shush. Hi. Are you this person? Wait, oh, there's a player under there. It's already Jade mechs. Oh my god. It's so good. Okay. Okay. Okay, I don't, ooh. Oh, no, I'm scared to touch anything. Hold up. I'm scared, I don't know. Hold up. Okay, I got my, okay, daily. Wait, the male is gonna like boom start the story, I think. Oh yeah, hero, because I could be a wheel bender. I'm not gonna be a wheel bender to start. End of Dragon's launch supply drop. Oh, the supply drop requisition thing. Okay. Okay. Cantha Spiritualist appearance package. Ooh, pretty. Spiritualist back. It's like our Crystal Peach with the ribbons. Oh my god. Look at the animation on that. Spiritualist glider. Dude. Oh, these golden weapons. For the dragons. Oh my god. Gold essence. My body can't handle it. My body can't handle a Guild Wars 2 expansion. Oh, is that the is that the staff? Oh my god. Hold up. Wait, I got too many windows open here. Hold up. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at the staff. Look at the handle. Look at that. Oh, that is sick. Oh, scepter. These are all in a different order than I'm used to looking at them in. Oh, that's the rifle? This looks like a fairy. It's like a fairy dragon. Oh my god. Pistol. Mace. Jesus. Look at this. Look at that. I love the dragon wrapped around it. Oh my god. Is that what Bubbles looks like? Great, mace. Hammer. Wow, dude. Great sword. Who thought the first thing Peachy was gonna do was look at the gem store and look at the... We always look at the gem store first. That's what we do. Wow. Oh. I want to go through the story with this. Holy shit. I want to go through the story with this and change the gold on my armor. It mostly matches. The lighting here is like so different than the preview. Oh, dude. Focus. Dagger. Is that the short bow? Short bow. Ooh. Give me the long bow. Ooh. Ooh, yeah. Oh, I so want these. Axe, wow. Oh! And there's a new Black Lion weapon set. Spiritual last outfit. Dragon. End of dragon. Wait. And expedition contract. What's that? Black Lion expedition board to your home. Oh, okay. Equivalent Wilds, New Kinetic City, Dragon's End, fishing. Which you fish in your new redacted die kit. Oh my god, wait. Redacted die kit. They can't even tell us the name of the die kit because it's a spoiler. Oh my god. It's the new dragon die kit is what it is. Oh my god. Oh my god. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh man. Okay, I can't wait. We gotta go. Crystalline Resonance Cascade. Crystallographer Smoxy. Okay, nothing's gonna start talking to me. Okay, I'm so used to opening a mail and like someone starts talking to me. Hi, Vegas! Commander, very exciting news. A crystalline resonance cascade scenario has occurred. You can read my latest publication, Crystalline Waveform Resonance Cascade Collapse Scenarios and You, a brief primer by award-winning crystallographer Smoxy. You might want to like shorten that title a little bit there. Is the music super loud? It sounds super loud to me, but I don't know if that's just me. I wanted to let you know about it right away since it centers on you. All of your red and green profit... Oh, this is about the profit shards. All of your red and green profit shards and crystals are now blue. Additionally, it seems the shards localized to this area will all be blue from now on as well. Isn't that amazing? I'll still, of course, accept blue shards from you for recompense, and the chests nearby seem to function fine with this change. I assure you nothing has been lost in this scenario, and your friends may think they still have red and green shards for a time, but the moment they try to do anything with them, they will be blue. Try not to be too discombobulated. Even though things have suddenly changed, they still effectively remain the same, possibly even better, since you don't have to think about what color this week is now. Yes, they did say that they were going to simplify that process, so that's cool. Okay. That is short for an Asura, that's right. Is that an Asura? Strolly, are you ready? Are you ready, Strolly? Are you ready? I will go slay dragons for you. I don't know if you're even caught up. Yeah! Whoa, you just drew your sword, your weapons, and like I drew my weapons. I don't know. Are we going on vacation? We are so going on vacation. Do they have anything new to say? They don't, I don't think. I think that's all the same. Okay. So Aurene isn't here. We can't get up there. So Aurene is gone. Aurene is gone. I can be a willbender. How far in a willbender can I get? I think, don't I have everything? Can I just willbender? Can I willbend immediately? Boom, look at Master Willbender. I'm not gonna be a willbender because I don't want to fumble my way through, there's the shoulder pieces, cool. I don't want to fumble my way through the controls while I'm just trying to enjoy the story, so. Oh my god. Alright, take care. Yes, anybody who's heading out to avoid spoilers and play it for yourself, thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate you. And thank you for sharing in the hype. Okay. Okay. Here we go.
Sweet,
woo!
sweet
Willbender
loot.
sword. Willbender... Wait. Sword... Purifier. Willbender stuff. Cool. Okay. Story. And dragons begin this story. Convergent. Oh,
Research log 428.
Cool, this is how it starts.
Latest results still inconclusive.
This was
Elder
so
dragons
good.
awaken, consume magic, and leave nothing but annihilation in their
Love
wake.
this. I've watched this multiple times.
This is the way it's always been. The dragon cycle. Unimaginable suffering through the ages. Countless lives shattered. And instead of uniting, some capitalized on chaos.
Oh, Scarlet! I swear a lot of my favorite characters are characters that I started out hating and then grew to absolutely love them.
But
No,
some of
Timey
us
is not
fought
dead, no.
back.
But she's dying.
Heroes across Tyria banded together. We came from different corners, but shared a vision of a better tomorrow.
This is perfect to
Not
start it
ev-
with this.
Then came hope from an unexpected place. Aurene, who we raised from an egg. With
God,
the
do you remember
prismatic
when she
dragon
was a
on our
baby?
side, we have a chance. A chance to finally break the dragon cycle. We've slain 5 elder dragons. But what's the right path forward? Every elder dragon death has made the whole system more unstable. There have been many theories. We tried to keep balance by replacing them, but that turned out to be impossible. We're running out of time for answers.
Oh no, some of the voices are getting cut off at the end.
One remaining elder dragon is out there somewhere. I don't know what awaits us.
Champion, I need to speak with you. Something's happening, and I'd like to discuss it in person.
Oh.
Also, if I'm honest, I wouldn't mind seeing your face again in person. Don't let that go to your head.
This is assuming we're not standing right here, that we're somewhere else in the world. I'm like, I'm down here already. She's like, oh, I didn't see you there. I'm right here, Ori. Wait, what did she say? Strolly, you're gonna be with me every second of the way. Hold on, I gotta change my chat here to NPCs. There we go. So I don't like see map chat. If I'm honest, I wouldn't mind seeing your face again in person. Don't let that go to your head. Why would that go to my head? We're friendos. I'm like your mom, Aureen. Okay, meet with Aureen in the Eye of the North. Oh, wait. Oh, a letter from Keith. Commander, I know you've been very busy, what with the Char insurrections and killing of Elder Dragons, but I think you might want to pay a visit to the Eye of the North. Something seems to be bothering Aureen. It has been too long. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Keith signs her letters with just C. Okay. Here, we're gonna, I think if you do this, then it kinda, there we go. Okay. All right. I should be wearing the like Aureen, ooh, I should change my colors to like kind of like a bright white, like crystalline. I should make myself look like a prism. Da, da, da.
Champion, it's wonderful to see you. Even with Jormak and Primordius gone, I noticed Tyria's still standing. Seems the Exalted were a bit off in their predictions. Disaster hasn't struck.
Yet.
The world does feel different, though. Can't put my finger on it. Like, change is coming. Real change.
I feel it too, Champion. That's why I wanted to see you. I've begun to perceive something. A distant presence. An ancient presence. It's a ripple in the mists. Like a dolphin in the deep, sounding to sense what's out there, and I want to respond. But before I do, I check my visions. All my possible futures converge to one point. Today.
And you can't see past it.
And I can't see past it.
Are you sure?
Oh.
Does it mean you die?
I'm not sure of anything, except my urge to respond. To say, yes, I'm here.
You're not scared?
I'm intrigued. I'm intensely curious. And even if I die, we know I won't stay dead.
We think.
Whatever it is, I can handle it. I just wanted to tell you, before it all begins.
How does it begin?
I'm not sure, but I know it involves Timey and Goring.
AKA go talk to Timey and Goring. Love it. Okay. Optional catch up with the rest of Dragon's Watch. Yes. Always. Ooh. Strolly, I'm so glad you're here. Let me go back over to... I had changed this. I'm gonna go back to Unlimited. My game is lagging a bit. There we go. Someone's over here. Where is everybody? Oh my goodness. Ritlock, Brimstone! What's up, Ritlock? Nyom. Talk. Ah, Commander, I was just about to head out, so... Ritlock, how are you holding up after Ryland?
Just one more confirmation of how great I am.
Spent some time with Kree.
You never really got to know your son. Not the way you wanted.
No. But I think that's the point. Bangar was right. Char don't have sons. Kree knew that. Kept her objective. What I wanted, I was never gonna get from Ryland. It wasn't about him, it was about me. What I need. I couldn't see past the hole I was trying to fill. The more I pushed, the more he pulled away. I made it all worse.
Ryland was a grown Char. He made his choices.
I know. And I did what had to be done. Now, his fight is over. Me? I don't know.
There's time. You'll figure it out.
Working on it.
What if we get a bunch of little dragon eggs and everybody gets a dragon egg to take care of, and Ritlock can be like the papa to a dragon egg? The fire dragon, the new fire dragon. Look at that! Oh, look at that axe. Tell me about Krisha. How's she doing?
Things are still tense, but she's good. Great under the circumstances. Hands full with paperwork. Keeps her busy. Thinks a couple of the Imperators are already vying for Connor. Hope it doesn't get ugly. We've been through a lot. Of course, I'm biased, but if you ask me, they already got a pretty good candidate.
For what it's worth, I think you're right. Might be time for all of us to put away old divisions.
Listen to us. Couple old soldiers going soft.
We fight because we have to, not because we want to. That was Bangar's mistake.
Add it to the list. But yeah, might be time. I think I'm ready to plant my tail in one place for a while. And just process.
Process. Oh, heck yeah, Krisha for Connor. I will leave you be. I want to talk to Bram. Marjorie and Casimir. Casimir, I'm so happy that you went back to this hairstyle. Or had this, she had this hairstyle before, didn't she? Oh, this hairstyle, she's so good on, looks so good on her. Commander, good to see you. Great to see you too.
Detective Delacroix and Lady Mead. Or is it Ambassador Mead now?
No title yet. I managed not to screw up the Ice Brood War. Queen gave me a little more rope is all.
You helped bring humans and Char together. Got the code and invested in the fight, and Jenna knows it.
Maybe. Nice to think so.
She sounds like more mature.
We haven't had much time to really talk
Hi,
since
Flesh
Bangar's
Golem.
convocation.
Oh my gods. The Metal Legion concert.
Then things got busy.
Things have always been busy. Ever since we were tracking Kralkatorrik.
Trying to clean up his mess. Towns destroyed. Refugee camps. Close my eyes, I can see the faces. It was a lot.
Coming on the heels of Cormyr and the other gods leaving us all to fend for ourselves.
We see how well that's gone.
Is Casimir's voice different? Casimir's seen some shit at this point. Things have been hard.
You're not being fair to
I was shiny and shallow. A sunbeam.
My sunbeam.
Aww.
Who ran when you needed me most.
And I forgave you. A long time ago. You have to forgive yourself.
Working on it.
Yeah! Yeah! Casimir's going through some stuff. Still. From Balthazar's exile and...
Welcome.
And freezing when Marjorie, like, almost died again. And she wasn't there for her this time to give her healing smooches. Speak with Aurene. Something on your mind, champion. We have a lot to catch up on.
I've been thinking about these past months. Primordus and Jormak, Bangar and Ryland. I made a conscious choice not to involve myself. As a nascent elder dragon, I was wary of my
Nascent?
own power. But lately I've wondered, was that the right choice?
She's wondering if it was right to not involve herself and use her power.
Right. Remember my visions of our battle with Kralkatorrik?
They all ended the same, with your death. And you couldn't see past it.
Just like Glint. But, of course, that was before I...
Ate an unkillable Lich King?
Discovered I can self-resurrect. Glint couldn't. Kralkatorrik couldn't. Once again, my visions converge. Except I don't see my death in any of them. They just... stop. Does that mean anything? Change anything? Is this time different? I don't know. But I can't wait to find out.
So she's not choosing to think of it as I ate a Lich King and now I can resurrect. She's just like, I have the power to self-resurrect. Praise Joko. Joko was right. Oh, I'm so sad that she's like all scared. That's cool to like give her doubts, give her questions, you know, rather than, oh, she became an elder dragon, so now she's just all knowing, all seeing, all confident. She like becomes this god. No, like she's still scared, right? Like and unsure of what she's become and what her powers are and what her role is. Catch up with the rest of Dragon Watch. So, oh, Cave, what's up?
Oh, you're back. That's, good. That's great.
Is she? Something to do with Gorik.
Yeah, okay, so Gorik and I have been up here doing research, looking for a way to end the dragon cycle. Cause like, who needs that noise every 10,000 years, am I right? So many dead people, and the cleanup is insane.
You were talking about Gorik.
Right. Gorik got a message from an old colleague.
Ah.
An old Inquest colleague.
Ah.
Anka. Anka. He's mentioned her a couple times. I've never met her. Says she was tracking Jormag and Primordus.
Ah.
She has some data. Would he like to see it? She'll trade it to us.
For what?